Alright, it's recording. What's up, guys? I'm back. And yeah, so as you can see, this is actually a brand new what if. Yeah. so, um, for Max, yeah, this was supposed to be like, what if Deku was the Golden Ninja, but nah. I think I'll honestly enjoy this story more. Just because I can think about future things that I have planned. But, yeah. I guess we can get into it. I'm sorry, bro. It's hot, so I don't know if I really want to make this or not. But yeah, so I'm gonna make it so Deku also has like red hair instead of green, and his eyes are also red instead of green. Just because for like aesthetics wise, I guess I don't know. But yeah, to go on with his quirk is of course fire manipulation. Did I even say what the name of this what if is? No, okay, no, I didn't. So this what if is like, what if Deku had the element of fire, aka what if he was Kai from Lego Ninjago? So yeah, his quirk, fire manipulation, he commands fire to summon at will, like no matter what, and he can control any of the fire and heat around him, even if it's from someone else's quirk. And of course, he does have more abilities, but I'll leave it at that for now. Like, just two basic things. I have more things planned, so don't worry. So, Deku growing up, he was always hot headed and stubborn, and not in like a fully annoying way, but you could kind of see he was there. And, when he was 4, he got into like these shows that showed off like martial arts, like Karate Kid and Dragon Ball and other stuff like that. So Inko decides to take that interest and put him in a dojo. I'm gonna say. So for a year, Deku was like learning the basics of martial arts and even like more advanced things, like in techniques that they allow. I guess I can't speak when it's this. Oh jeez, but his mother, I mean no, not his master told Inko that Deku is like a fighting prodigy and like he sees a lot of potential in him. So before Deku like begins going to school, his teacher gave him a gift. Which this is a year later. So Deku's 5 and Deku asked like what is it? And he said as of now you're a black belt, which is insane, but I think I want to give you like this instead. And he takes his hand behind his back and gives him a red and black fire kimono, basically the same as the picture. And Deku like takes it and says like talks about like how cool it is, and like his teacher says you may like have to grow into it though. So Inko said thank you, and the next day she took Deku to kindergarten. And yeah, basically Deku is just a black belt when he's only 4, and like 4 to 5, actually yeah 5, when he's only 5 and still doesn't have his quirk yet. So yeah, I think Deku is already becoming a god. Yeah, so Deku, I'm gonna say he walks into class the next day and is told to introduce himself. So he does, and things are pretty normal at first due to like Deku's personality, though. The other kids think he's really cool just because. And a bit of time passes, but the students start to gain their quirks, and they all kind of suck. But then Bakio gets his, and all of the class, including the two teachers, say like he has the coolest quirk, and like the teachers also say like he has the most potential. But Bakio is like, yeah, Bakio's just gassed the entire time, and then he turns to Deku laughing at him because he already hates Deku. They like they're both stubborn, so yeah. And Deku just rolls his eyes and says, "Let's fight then." Like Deku don't care, and Bakio gets ready to use his new quirk, but the teachers break it up before anything happens. And the next day, Deku walked through the class, and the teachers were like screaming, rushing over to Deku and saying, "Are you okay?" So Deku says yeah, and he's confused about what's going on. And then like one of the kids see Deku, and they say, "Look, Izuku's hands are on fire." So Deku was like, "Wait, hold up, what?" So he looks at his hands and sees them on fire, and the flames get bigger, and like Deku just yells like, "All right, like let's go!" Like making them go out. And when Bakugo seen that, he got mad real quick. So yeah, I think I'm gonna skip to middle school because I'm trying to make him. I'm trying to make stuff go down. Yeah, I feel like the teachers would just get in the way if I made them fight now. So it was. I'm gonna say it's halfway through middle school, basically where um the anime starts, and everyone knew who Deku was, and when people like seen him at first, like for the first time, they think he's a douche, but then realize he's pretty chill when like you meet him. And with Bakio though, people just know not to mess with him because he's just annoying. So they also know that Deku and Bakio like they hate each other. Like it's I don't know, it's strange. And everyone makes it to class with the teacher walking in with papers. So he starts off by saying like he's gonna go over everyone's goals, but then says like forget it. He already knows that they all want to become heroes. So the class goes crazy over that for some reason. I still don't know why. With like the one dude pulling his eyes, like he just pulls his eyeballs out of his head. I don't know why. It doesn't make any sense. But hold on, I need to take a drink. You already know. Eh. um, yeah, ew, something up. But yeah, where was that? So Bakugo makes like a small explosion, telling them all to get real, and that none of them will come close to being heroes. So then, like the leftover smoke and bits of explosion, like they go away, making Bakugo glance over at Deku. Deku just sits there resting his head up on one of his hands saying like, "Will you like when will you ever just shut up?" And Bakugo gets up and says like, "What did you just say to me? Um what did you just say to me, you toaster oven?" Like, I don't know, man. I'm trying to think of stuff to like think about Deku. But yeah, he's basically just a toaster oven. But yeah, Deku tells him to like sit down, and then Bakugo slams an explosion on Deku's desk. So he looked up at Bakugo and said, "All right, let's settle this when class is over." The teacher does not care what they do. Like he's just like, ah, screw it, I don't care about them. So the rest of the class finishes, and everyone is allowed to leave. So the class instantly gets up and follows Deku and Bakugo outside, and they make it to like a park, literally like down the street, on an open area, and put their bags down. So Deku stretches and says like, "All right, let's get this done and over with." And half of the school now, like it went from the class to the whole entire school, half of them cheer for Deku, and then the other half cheer for Bakugo. And Bakugo starts it off by rushing in, and Deku dodges it, surrounding his fist with fire, and punches him in the side. So he gets sent back, but comes back throwing multiple explosions. And Deku just makes them fade away, and he starts destroying Bakugo with multiple combos. He's not even using his quirk at this point. He's just going back and forth with his martial arts, but then he ends it off by doing the 1 inch punch, making him like making Bakugo go through multiple trees. So yo, like huh, it just looked dope. If you were watching it, like you would be like, okay, yeah, don't mess with Deku, like nah. So the school starts chanting Deku, and he grabs his bag, telling everyone like, see you later. So Deku goes through the tunnel area and instantly knows like something's up. Like he didn't decide to just fly off because he can do that, but he stops walking and says like, if you're there planning, if you're planning on doing something, go ahead and show yourself. So the sludge villain quickly like charges out and rushes at Deku, like trying to take his body. But before the sludge could touch him, Deku just creates an aura around him made of fire, and that makes part of the sludge burn away because I'm pretty sure that makes sense. I'm pretty sure. And Deku made the fire and heat larger and larger until it was until the sludge was a quarter of its original size. So the sludge monster was like screaming in agony, making Deku stop. Deku said like even though you were trying to attack me and kill me, that doesn't mean I should kill you. So All Might rushes around the corner and yells, "I am here," but sees everything is already dealt with. So the sludge begs All Might to take him away from Deku, making All Might confused. Like, wait, what? And Deku just pulled out his water bottle from his bag, or his empty water bottle, and told the sludge to get in. So he did, and Deku just sealed the cap on, forging it in place. So then he tossed it to All Might, making him catch it. And he instantly thought, like, yo, this kid has a ton of potential with that efficiency of power. And, so Deku was about to, like, take off, but All Might stopped him. He said, hey, kid, like, what's your name? And Deku just replied, saying Izuku Midoriya. And All Might tried asking him, like, more questions, but he was stopped by his time limit, of course. And, he told Deku he has to go, but he gives him his phone number. And All Might said, like, if you want to train your power or learn more about heroes, text this number. And Deku says, alright, and then realizes that All Might just gave him his number. And he looks at him and said, like, why did you just give me your number? So All Might told Deku, because I see a ton of potential in you, and I don't want it to go into waste. So All Might takes off before Deku can respond, and Deku just stands there wondering what just happened. Like, he said, okay, I can actually use this, and then he flies off, shooting fire out of his hands like a rocket. So yeah, I'm gonna say the sludge incident, like with Bakio, didn't happen because there was no point of Deku following All Might. And a week passes, I'm gonna say, and Deku was like training at the dojo with his sensei. And he tells Deku, like, out of everyone, like his teacher, he tells Deku, like, out of everyone I teach, you're the only one that comes back. Like everyone else, when they finish, they're done. They don't bother coming back. So Deku says, like, of course I come back at this point. Like, at this point, you're basically my grandpa. So he takes the words to heart, but then says, like, why don't you go train with All Might instead? Like, you told me you got his number, right? So Deku stopped what he was doing and said he's been thinking about it, but doesn't know how to approach the opportunity. Like, like, he just doesn't know how. It's like being offered free college and, like, you don't know how to do stuff. Yeah. I don't know what I was trying to go with that. So his teacher's name is Wu, by the way. Like, he's not the same as Wu from the show, just that their names are the same, just because. So Wu says, in all my years of being alive, I missed out on a ton of opportunities that I wish I could have taken. Like, don't make the same mistakes. So Deku says he understands and bows. Wu bows back and tells him to scram. So Deku runs out and texts All Might. So All Might replies a minute later saying, like, head to the beach, or Dagobah Beach. So Deku makes it and sees All Might standing next to piles of trash. I'm gonna say All Might turned and seen Deku, and then he yelled saying, like, get over here. So Deku comes down and they talk for a bit. All Might actually says, like, a bit too much already. Like, he starts talking about One for All. Like, he already showed off his injury and all that, but he accidentally talks about All for One. I mean, One for All. And Deku said, maybe you should have waited for that part, because now I feel more forced than ever. So All Might realizes his mistake, and Deku says it's alright. He plans on training with him anyways. So All Might then asked about Deku's kimono, and yeah, I don't know if I already said, but this is the gi. This gi is, like, from the one from season 2 of Ninjago. I'm pretty sure I already said that. Like, the one from the picture. I'm pretty sure I already said that. I might just be an idiot. But Deku talks about his master in the dojo, and then All Might says, like, for the next 10 months until the UA entrance exams, I'll be training you since you're now my successor. Like, he just plain out says it, like, I'm forcing you. And Deku said like cool, and he's honored, like bowing afterwards. Then he looks up saying, I will be better than you even at your prime. So All Might takes that as a challenge. So the next 10 months pass, and Deku was already battle hardened before, but during this time he's made his fire stronger, his agility greater, and his sneak is 100. So he's already a ninja. Like it's just that simple. He's already a ninja. And if Kai from the show can be a ninja or turn into like a ninja a week after he arrived, then yeah, I'm pretty sure it's all right. So I think that's how long it took. But yeah, so on the last day, All Might told Deku like he's very impressed by his progression or progress, but now he wants to give him one last thing. So he pulls a piece of hair out and hands it to Deku. And I'm saying Deku's been psyching himself up for this moment, and then he eats it. So All Might tells him that it'll take a bit for it to digest, but it should pop up. Except it happened instantly. Like it just happened. So fire started to spin around Deku and slowly started to ascend. And Deku looked up because he was looking down, and All Might seen Deku's eyes like made of pure fire, and his face was like red, like filled with energy. So with the red outline of his kimono, they were growing brighter, and Deku comes back down, and the transformation that All Might just seen, it faded away. Which, if you understand like what I just said, like with the energy of fire and like his eyes being that, then yeah, you understand where I'm going with that. So, like if you watch the show, but Deku, when he fell down, but he picked himself back up, saying like, "What was that?" Oh, thanks, anime cam. Yeah, thanks for calling my dog cute. But yeah, All Might said he doesn't know, but Deku needs to hurry up and go to UA. And I'm gonna say Deku puts his hand facing the ground and takes off flying away. Like, all right, yeah, I got you. So yeah, it's really I don't know if I want to continue or not. It's so hot. Freaking I'm sweating. I want to turn on the fan, but now it's too loud. I got you guys. I'll just go in and continue, get it over with. So Deku makes it and lands in front of crowds of people wanting to get into UA. So Deku lands around. I mean, he looks around and smiles, like making everyone wonder, like, why is he not in a recommendation? Like, clearly he looks dope. So Bakio is like being well, yeah, Bakio's behind Deku, and he says like, "Move out of my way, Tomato Head." And Deku says like, "Nah, you always be in my dust." Hmm. I ain't gonna lie, I was about to make a racist joke, but I'm not gonna do that. And man, in the future, that could come and like bite me in the butt. Yeah, I ain't doing that. So yeah, then he walks to the doors, getting into like UA, and they all take the written test, but and then head to the auditorium. So President Mike gives off the presentation, but Bakio and Deku like argue back and forth, saying like like they're stronger than the other. So Ida stands up, of course, being Ida, and tells them both to shut up. And they both turn around and put their hands facing Ida, getting ready to attack. And Ida like looks at them and says like, "You wouldn't dare," making like small explosions come from Bakio's hand and fire form from Deku's hand. So President Mike tells them to stop, and they do, with Ida sitting down as well. But Deku like walks to the locker room and changes into his gi. G. Yeah, so he walks out to the gate and everyone sees him like saying that outfit looks like insane. And like how does he already have like a hero costume? So Deku begins the Shrek, yeah. Deku begins the stretch, and feels like someone tap his soul. Oh my god, what do I do? What is if I can't even speak? Deku begins to stretch, and then he feels someone tap on his shoulder. That's what I'm trying to say. So they all they get burned. Like I'm gonna say they get like a blister on their finger. And Ida yells like, "Why did you use your quirk on me?" And Deku replied saying, "Back off for us." Like, "Yo, he ain't messing with them. Nah, get away." Then he walks to the front of the gate. I'm gonna say just because like yeah, he doesn't want to talk with Ida. Nah, excuse me. Oh, and thanks, LA. Shoot, that came out of nowhere. That might have just peaked the mic to be fair. I'm sorry if that just like did something, but yeah, I'm gonna say the gates start to open and Deku like he goes ham instantly. Like yo, he goes ham. And I'm gonna say he's the first one out there destroying every robot, and he also helps others that can't defeat theirs. So the heroes watching are like amazed by Deku, and then yeah, and then they send out like the zero pointer. So yeah, Deku like is on a rooftop by the way. Like he's on the rooftop just looking over everyone. And then he sees the robot approaching. So he instantly takes off aiming towards the robot and flies through its face like blowing it up. And was even like no one even realized the robot was there to I can't do this. No one noticed that the robot was there to begin with. So nobody was running away in fear to begin with. And the heroes say like, well, yeah, he's already accepted in, and All Might just grins because he already knew that. And then he lands back on the ground. Um, and the exams are announced over. Like, I just wanted to get that done and over with. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, man, how can I make this interesting? But nah, I think I would just want to skip over it. Yeah, but yeah, basically Deku's just shown off as a god in front of everyone. But Deku just cracks his knuckles and takes off back home, like not letting anyone say a word to him. Like he thinks to himself like, "Oh, I'm just gonna I'll let them talk to me if they make it into UA." So yeah, I think I might get it in, like just leave it at there. I'm gonna say, yeah, yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll leave it at there. So let me know if you guys like this one and like want to see more parts because I don't fully know yet if this like will do all right. I don't even know. I need to find a better picture actually, to be fair. So yeah, don't forget uh to leave like what ifs you want to like see. I'm planning on going over them or like doing a poll instead on the community tab. So yeah, like keep up for that and make sure you have like a good one, of course. And yeah, milking out.